Welcome back, everyone. Getting healthier, that is consistently one of the most popular resolutions for New Year's. We hear all the time, but oftentimes it's also one of the hardest ones to reach. So we've got nutritionist Kara Swanson joining us here to talk about how we can really achieve that success. And the thing that you were saying just now, Kara, is the goal is to be specific. You got to be specific if you want to reach that target.
Yeah, it's really important because oftentimes we'll say, make resolutions of I want to, eat healthier, or I want to work out more, or I want to save more. But what does more actually mean? It's not measurable. And when it's not measurable, you can't at the end of the day check off, yes, I did it, or I didn't do it. And so that's oftentimes why people will fail just weeks into, the new year, is because they just aren't clear on what they're actually doing.
And so if we're talking about being specific rather than saying, I want to be healthier or I want to lose weight, whatever, give me an example of what that specificity needs to look like.
Yeah, so let's take the working out, for example. I want to work out more. Okay, is that 10 minutes a day? Is it 30 minutes a day, 5 times a week? Get specific on even the time that you're going to do it, what you're going to do, the days. All of that is going to help you be more successful because you'll know exactly what you're doing.
And I think that maybe people just feel like if you just say, I'm going to add 10 more minutes, or I'm going to work out 10 minutes, or whatever it might be, they're feeling like it's too small, but it sounds like that small goal is really the big goal.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's another, mistake that can be made is we try to make these really big goals, but it's really important to, start where you're at. So maybe your goal is to work out every day for an hour, but if you're not working out at all, that's going to be really hard on your body and just mentally to do that. And so instead, work out for 10 minutes a day, gradually work your way up to then that bigger goal.
That's good advice. What are some other very common mistakes that people usually make when they're setting those goals for the new year?
Yeah, I think just not being super clear on what they want to do, being vague and just being just going full force on it instead of just breaking it down smaller.
Okay, so let's say I'm going to make that resolution. After I make the resolution, and this is just blanket, whatever your resolution might be, what's the first step to actually keeping in tune with it? Because a lot of times we'll say, all right, we're going to do this, but I don't know where to start.
Yeah, I would write it down. So if it's eat healthier, I would figure out, okay, how do I want to do that? Is it add more fiber, which is what I would recommend? Start with breakfast. Make sure that you have all the ingredients. Just kind of break those goals down. But writing them down is really important, and even writing them down weekly. If you have the big goal, break it down each week so that at the end of the week you can determine, okay, am I on track?
I love that. That's good advice. Now, something else that I brought up to you earlier, there are a lot of people out there who, they want to do these things. They want to work out more, but maybe they don't have that access to the gym. What do I do if I need to work around things like that, certain limitations?
Yeah, so you certainly can do body weight exercises. You can get bands. You can get, a few weights at the store to have at home. There's YouTube, lots of free resources. So I think there are a lot of free things that you could do and still do it at home.
And even for people who may be eating better, it costs a little bit more. How do you work around that and still maintain your pocketbook and not break the bank?
Well, a can of beans is about $1 and it has protein and fiber. So I think it's just rethinking, maybe healthy foods. Maybe, it's not the I don't know, the protein popcorn out there, but it's it's the beans, it's the vegetables. A bag of carrots is $1 and you can do a lot with those, or some hummus is a couple dollars too. So that's a really great snack that costs less than $3 and can probably last, you a few days too.
Kara is a wealth of knowledge. Where can people find you?
Yeah, so on my website, lifewelllive.fitness, or I'm on Instagram a lot at Kara Swanson.
All right, Kara, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
All right.